You ever get the feeling that somebody's just watching you from an alarm clock? Did you know that you can just buy old police surveillance gear from government auctions? I had to drive about 40 minutes off into the middle of nowhere to pick up all of this hardware, but once I got back I was pretty excited to dig in and see what I had actually spent all my money on. In short, it's mostly a bunch of junk with a few interesting things scattered about. Most notably are these surveillance alarm clocks, and also these covert listening devices, or bugs. But now I'm left wondering who actually made these devices, and how are they meant to be used in the field, and does any of it still actually work? Let's start by taking a look at one of the surveillance alarm clocks. This is a surveillance alarm clock that I picked up from a police auction, also known as GovDeals. So I'm going to take a look at this today and see what we can learn about it, and then maybe take it apart and see what's going on inside. Let's just take a look at the outside real quick and see what's going on. It looks like a pretty typical alarm clock that you'd probably see in like a motel or a hotel. Not a very fancy one, but we've got our clock face. It looks like we've got FM and AM radio as well. On the top we've got my favorite button, this snooze button right here. Selector for different settings. Some buttons for setting your alarm and clock. The sleep, which does something, I don't know. And then if we take a look at the side, we've got some dials over here for tuning and volume, what bands, pretty typical alarm clock stuff. On the bottom, we've got, let's see, this looks like a battery door that seems to have been glued shut. We have a warranty sticker that's already been tampered with. Let's see, we've got an FCC ID, golden FCC ID sticker. The golden sticket. And that says Backgrounds Unlimited Incorporated, model FWV TXBD 12A, tested under Part 90 FCC rules. I want to take this apart, but let's do a little bit of OSINT first, which, if you're not familiar with that, stands for, oh, I probably should have looked that up before I started tearing into it. I typically like to go to fccid.io, and we can type that in over here and look up this company, or this filing. Operates within the frequency ranges of 2452.7 megahertz to 2472.7 megahertz. Hey, that's the same frequency as my fridge. Looks like it was filed in 2000. And one of my favorite things to do is take a look at these test pictures, block diagrams, and manuals, and all this other good stuff to see if there's anything that we can learn from here. This one in particular is one of my favorites. It's the internal photos. So I'm going to open that up. And we get to see photos of this device. Alright, we can see it looks like it's definitely not an alarm clock. It looks like this is probably just maybe a transmitter. We see there's the 2452.7 megahertz. It's pretty grainy. And I can make out a couple of these pads say like probably ground, LR, ground. It looks like an antenna coming off of this. It's a square patch antenna. This is the bottom side of the board, apparently. You can see where this antenna is attached. And we've got, I guess this is another part of the board. Bottom PCB, top side. Okay, so there's two PCBs. We have top PCB and bottom PCB. Component side of the top PCB. Yeah, so we can see this a little bit easier now. We've got these pads that say ground, 12 volt, 12 volt, ground, VID, I think, LR, another ground, MIC, probably mic, and then ground. Let's see, block diagram and schematics. Oh, nice. That's kind of cool. Confidential. You might want to take a look at that later. We haven't found our the device that we're looking at, the actual alarm clock. This seems to be a transmitter. Specifically, let's take a look at some of the other stuff that this company has filed for. Attention, Joe DeCoso, attestation statements. Dear Mr. DeCoso, in reference to the frequency of the transmitter, we will set the channel to 2473 megahertz. Huh. Okay, just some frequency testing stuff. If I was more of a nerd, I'd probably be able to understand that. Maybe one day. Now let's take a look at the internal photos. Oh, nice. This looks like some serial killer basement shit. How about this newest one, Ultralink video transmitter? internal photos. Very similar to the other one, I believe. The previous one. There's where the antenna connects. Oh, that's a much better photo. Take a look at that. Okay, so we've got ground, 12 volt ground. Yeah, VIDLR ground mic and more ground. First witness video. First witness video. First witness video surveillance systems. Okay. Mount Sydney, Virginia. I feel like this is the same company but a different name. FWV TXBD 12A. Turns out the original manufacturer is a company called Backgrounds Unlimited that was originally based out of Virginia. You know, where all the good feds come from. Backgrounds Unlimited user manual. Ooh, the TXBD-12A is perfect for drug investigations. Landfill areas. What does that mean? Landfill areas? Oh, maybe this is like dumping. Like illegal dumping or something. The TXBD-12A accepts input from an NTSC baseband video source, typically a camera. Okay, let's go to my buddies at Internet Archive. Firstwitnessvideo.com. Oh, hell yeah, dress up games. Dude, that slays. Okay, let's check this out. All the way back here. Okay, this looks a little bit more law enforcement-y. We are a leading manufacturer of wireless covert video camera equipment for government and law enforcement agencies. To obtain a user ID and password, please fax your request. sec.gov. What's this all about? I don't know. Looks like emails or something. Whoa. Oh, it's an image. Wow, that's fucking weird. If you're filing documents. What the f is this? Containing millions of company and individual filings, agri benefits, investors, corporations, and the U.S. economy overall by increasing the efficiency, transparency, and fairness of the securities market. Okay. Cool. What about the Ultralink video transmitter? First witness, Ultralink outdoor video transmitter. Oh, ooh, $500. Ultralink video. Let's see what this one's all about. Ooh, page cannot be displayed. Depending on how many walls you have to transmit through, the Radio Link 2 has been tested at over 15 miles clear line of sight. Holy crap, what? One police department said that they went through 4 cinder block walls and still received the signal at over 2,000 feet. Wow! This thing sounds hot. That's crazy. Am I crazy or does that sound like really hot? Transmitter specifications. It can operate off of 8 AA batteries for more than 6 hours. What? To be fair, 8 AA batteries is a lot. Oh, here we go. FWRD2, the Radio Link 2 clock radio camera. Guys, this looks exactly like what's sitting in front of me. Ooh, smaller size and sleek new look. Still breakthrough technology at a breakthrough price. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's the full catalog. Hell yeah. First witness. Video surveillance systems. 2009 retailer catalog. Okay, here we go. The Radio Link 2, always a customer favorite. The Radio Link 2 clock radio is back by popular demand. After a brief hiatus, the Radio Link 2 has returned with a new look. We were sure to retain the features of the original. The simple and low-tech appearance makes this unit inconspicuous in any number of environments. However, the new appearance and smaller size make this unit a better match for similar modern clock radio units found in most homes and businesses. You will not find many units like this on the market today, and certainly none with the proven quality and reliability of the Radio Link 2. Alright. Ooh, an exit sign camera? Emergency light camera? Please note this unit is not functional and not intended for use as a safety device. Wow, that's great. Because building distrust in the safety equipment in our environment is a great thing to do. Way to go, feds. Originally developed as a method for monitoring cash registers in retail stores, why don't you just use a camera? Why does it have to be hidden? Computer speakers? Pencil sharpener, okay. Please note, the pencil sharpener is not functional. Wow, okay. You know, that would actually work in today's day and age because nobody actually has a pencil. Oh, the monkey camera. Oh god, that's so gross. Cute and cuddly. Ew. Ultralink 1 watt. So is this thing a 1 watt transmitter? Pinhole cameras? Yeesh. Sheesh. CCTV equipment. Oh yeah, a hardwired sprinkler head camera. I think I've seen enough. Okay, enough with the James Bond marketing wink. Let's take it apart and see what's inside. All right, start taking these out. It doesn't look like we have too many screws to deal with. All right, where is the actual camera? It looks like these have been accessed before. They're kind of chowdered. Wow, okay. So I guess that isn't actually coming out. That's just free spinning. Let's get this and see if we can lift it while we unscrew it. And yeah, there we go. All right, yeah, that came out. Wow, that's awful. Okay, I don't like that. But let's take this faceplate off and see what we have underneath. Oh, okay. Well, that's suspicious. It says NTSC camera module. Go ahead and unplug that. We'll set that off to the side. And I guess the rest of this just comes apart, right? Alright. Speaker wire right here. A like white, solid, like suspicious third wire running back over there. This is, I think, looks like a backup battery. Take that off. Ah, yeah, I think that's what we're looking for. Transmitter module. This looks like the same thing that we saw in the catalogs and also the FCC filing. And then we also have this white wire, that suspicious third wire that runs over by the speaker. Is that the antenna? Oh yeah, hey, look at that. That looks to be our antenna. There's some other wires. Where does this go? Okay, so this goes over to this battery looking thing. Is this like a microphone or? Oh, that's actually a button. Oh, check this out. There's actually a button right here. Hello, camera. There we go. Look at this teeny tiny button. Right there. And before I go dissecting any of this stuff, let's see if we can pull it up on the on an SDR and take a look at it over the waterfall and see if maybe we can look at the signal. And for this, we're going to be using a couple SDRs. In particular, I'm going to be using the HackRF with the PortaPack, and then an RTL SDR. Both very good SDRs. If you're just getting started with RF stuff, definitely take a look at one of these guys. They're very inexpensive compared to like a HackRF, but they're both very good. They have their differences. But you can get started with either of these devices. Obviously, they're not going to be perfect for certain things. Do your own research. But anyway, the antennas that I'm going to be using, this is kind of like a GPS antenna, and then I've got a pretty standard. What is this, whip antenna? I don't know, whatever you call this thingy. Pretty typical antenna. So let's go ahead and get these plugged up to the HackRF and then the RTL SDR, and we'll take a look and see what's going on with this thing. So, pretty simple. Just screw the antenna on, right? And then let it fall over. This is not going to stick to my workbench. We are going to go to Looking Glass. And we can set this to Bluetooth Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz. You can see the data that's coming across the Wi-Fi spectrum right now with this antenna that we're using. Alright, the clock is on. Wow, that sucker is hot. Look at that. Holy crap. And all of my Wi-Fi devices just stopped. Is this thing jamming wireless? I think I'm going to unplug that and never plug it back in. Yeah, what the hell? Holy crap. Okay, let me get this. I want to get this hooked up to the PC, and we can do GQRX and look at it. I think it's time to surgically remove this parasitic circuit board so that I can study it a little bit further and maybe find a way to make it a little bit quieter. And with a little movie magic, we've got our transmitter separated from the alarm clock. Spoiler alert, I took it apart earlier. I actually have two of them. So I'm going to get the HackRF going, but this time I'm going to set it up with a GPS antenna because GPS is a bit closer to the frequency of this device, the operating frequency of this device. And it should do a little bit better than the other standard type of antennas. And let's see if we can get this thing powered from the bench and make it a little bit quieter, because I really don't want to operate this thing too often or too long if it's just going to jam everything. If it's just going to jam everything on a 2.4 gigahertz spectrum. So let's go ahead and take a look at this under the looking glass. And I'm going to set this back to Bluetooth Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz. I'm going to turn on my bench power supply and get this set at a suitably low voltage so we can start bringing it up and seeing what voltage it likes to turn on at. I'm going to have it set at 0 volts, and I'll go ahead and plug it up. Oops. These alligator clips are awful. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and slowly bring the voltage up until we see something on either the HackRF waterfall or on the device itself. So I'm going to bring this up by a voltage. We're at 3 volts. I don't see anything yet. 6 volts, I see a little light on the board. We're at 8 volts. I do see something coming across the waterfall now. Not super hot, but bring it up to 9 volts. It actually goes off. 10 volts, 11, 12. So that's what it's supposed to be at. And then really quick, while I have this here, let's go ahead and just press this button and see what happens. Okay, so it looks like it's cycling through. Oh, we can see it pops up on a different section on the waterfall across the spectrum. So it looks like this is for hopping channels. Do that again on channel 4. It looks like it comes back to that start. And then on channel 1, it's right in the center of our frequency or our band. All right, so it looks like there's 4 channels, and we can switch them with that button. So I'm going to turn this off because it looks like it's still really hot, and I don't think adjusting the voltage makes a difference at all. And to be honest, this thing kind of scares me to operate. I don't really like the idea of jamming people's wireless connections. Now let's, I'm going to get a tweaker. Not the drug kind, but the electronics kind. And I want to adjust this trim pot and see what it does to the signal. So let's go ahead and try that out. Let's go ahead and adjust it to the left. And to the right. Oh, so I can see that there's kind of like this little sideband going on, and this adjusts like the distance from the sideband over to the center band. So that's interesting. Yeah, let me go ahead and turn this off because it scares me. The PCB is actually dated 2003, so I'm not sure this is actually the same filing as the FCC ID that we saw on the bottom. Because if you remember that number, FWV-TXBD12A, that was actually filed for in 2000. So if we look at this board again, that looks a little bit different. I think we're dealing with a different kind of device for a newer one. Nobody would just silkscreen lies onto their PCB, right? To get a useful image out of this device's broadcast, we would likely need a purpose-built 2.4 GHz receiver that is capable of decoding this signal back into an analog TV signal that we can display over RCA or HDMI. Huh, I guess that's what this mystery box is for. Well, we'll try hooking it up and see if it does anything. Well, would you look at that? It doesn't work. Anyway, this thing is an enigma. I don't really want to power it up too much more. Maybe it'll be a good subject for like reverse engineering the schematic later. Anyway, I think that's enough of this weird piece of cop tech. Thanks for hanging out, and if you enjoyed that, feel free to check out the rest of the channel where I've got other things like this. And also feel free to stop by and check me out when I'm live streaming. I'd like to give a big shout out to my Patreon and YouTube members. Their support is what allows me to keep doing this. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys around. Bye!